What's good, everyone? Infamous Legacy here with the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League guide video. In this guide video, I'll be talking about what afflictions are, how to obtain them, and how to use them. Shout out to the homie Yardraft for recommending me to make this video for the players out there. So let's go ahead and get this video started. With afflictions, there are 4 afflictions that are obtainable within the game currently. The first one that you will get automatically is a deep freeze affliction. When you are running the campaign and you encounter poison ivy for the first time, the deep freeze affliction will be obtainable automatically. And then the other 3 afflictions that you guys can get are Venom Frenzy, Diablo Blaze, and Livewire Bolt. These afflictions right here can only be obtainable when you're progressing through the campaign and unlocking the poison ivy side missions, just like the one I'm showing you right now on the screen. Now let's go ahead and break down to you guys how these afflictions work and how they can apply different types of effects onto your enemies. The deep freeze affliction is all about freezing your enemies. You can freeze your enemies for 10 seconds. The enemies can take 200% damage with your firearm weapons, and they also can take 1000% damage while they're falling. The negatives about the deep freeze affliction is frozen enemies take greatly reduced damage from melee attacks, meaning your melee attacks won't do as much damage to these frozen enemies. And then it nullifies your critical hit chance and ammo drop chance on frozen enemies. So now let's go ahead and demonstrate to you guys how the deep freeze effect works on enemies. And with afflictions, keep in mind they can be applied onto your grenade, your melee weapon, traversal mod, and other gear pieces as well. Let's demonstrate the deep freeze affliction first. So deep freeze is like an ice status effect that you can apply onto enemies. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attack these enemies like normal so you guys can see how the damage is before the affliction is applied and then after. So with the deep freeze affliction, it obviously nerfs melee attacks. So here's a normal melee attack that I'm doing on an enemy. Obviously the melee perk I have is I can slow down an enemy on the melee weapon that I got. And I'll be breaking down where the best gear pieces are in a future video. So you guys saw the damage numbers when I did a regular melee attack. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze the enemies now and show you how much it gets nerfed by. There you guys go. So you guys saw how greatly the melee damage was nerfed when I used the deep freeze affliction. And the deep freeze affliction that I have is applied onto my grenade. So I just hold down the grenade button. You can see at the bottom left, and you can see that ice effect. Let me just reload my grenades here. Next thing is, let's talk about the buff you get from using a firearm while your enemy's frozen. So here is myself just doing a normal shot onto an enemy. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze the enemies, and then you're going to be able to see the 200% increased damage from that firearm. Big difference, right? So that's a breakdown of how the deep freeze affliction works and how it can be applied onto enemies. Now let's go ahead and move on to the Venom Frenzy affliction. Damn, Brainiac, shut up. I'm trying to explain this guide video to the players out there. So with the Venom Frenzy affliction, I am going to be in the open world to demonstrate this one. Okay, this is where enemies who are inflicted by the Venom Frenzy status will be attacking other enemies for about 20 seconds. The only downfall is they do have increased health. So let me go ahead and find some enemies. There we go. We got a big ass enemy there too. Jeez. All right, I have the Venom Frenzy Affliction on my grenade. There we go. So you can see they're shooting at each other, and you also can see the damage they're putting out on each other as well. So those enemies are fighting right there. This enemy didn't get afflicted because he wasn't in range. And I ran out of grenades. But yeah, that's how briefly the Venom Frenzy Affliction works. And then again, it's for about 20 seconds. So that was a demonstration of the Venom Frenzy Affliction. And geez, these guys almost took me out. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the Diablo Blaze Affliction. The Diablo Blaze Affliction is a status that can burn enemies and do damage over time. So let me go ahead and demonstrate to you guys how the Diablo Blaze Affliction works. I have it applied on my grenade right now. So you can see there the burn effect and the damage over time numbers. And the negative about this status is it nullifies the shield harvest chance on these burning enemies. So shield harvest is like obtaining health. And then if you burn a certain enemy, which is called like a termite or whatever it is, terminauts, they can move faster. So those terminauts are those little crawling enemies that you encounter in the open world. So you can actually speed them up if you apply the burning effect onto them. Now let's go ahead and move on to the last affliction that's obtainable throughout the campaign, and that is the Livewire Bolt Affliction. Now with the last affliction that's obtainable while progressing through the campaign is the Livewire Bolt Affliction. It electrifies enemies for about 15 seconds, and all firearm hits on these electrified enemies are critical hits. The only negative is while these enemies are electrified, they can significantly do increased damage to you. So let's go ahead and demonstrate the Livewire Bolt Affliction. So here is going to be like some normal damage I'm going to apply with using my sniper rifle firearm without the affliction applied. So you guys can see it was about 2400 right there. Now I do have the affliction on my melee and also on my grenade. I'm going to first use the affliction with my melee weapon. Let me refill this. So let's hold the melee button to apply it. So there you go. And just like that, you guys saw how those numbers increased significantly. It went to about 7,400. So that's how the Livewire Bolt Affliction works. There we go, everyone. That was the breakdown of the 4 afflictions that you can obtain through the campaign in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. If you guys do have any questions, again, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. More videos on the way, include more guide videos and build videos especially. But until next time, I'm out. You guys take care. Peace.